You are watching T to the M to the IDD.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? T to the M to the IDD. We are back with another video. And if you know, before I tested these two lenses, but it was back in Kentucky. The weather was horrible, so I had to use them inside and make use of what I had. But I could not live with that comparison. I have to take these out and put them on location. So we have the 85 1.2 and the Sigma 105 1.4 on location in Las Vegas. Now, everything started off great. Everything started off great. We had a blue sky, and I was just waiting to get kind of a sunrise, just as the sun hits the horizon type of shot. But the model was flying in from Dallas, and so some timing things happened and that kind of trickled down, and now I am facing the midday sun. You're out here in the dry lake beds. Ah, man, a beautiful scenery. I've been trying to capture for a long time with a wonderful model. I have no other time to shoot with her, so I knew that I was going to have to deal with the midday sun. Number one, to add insult to injury, we pull up onto the dry lake bed. I step out the car and I am greeted with a big gust of wind. This situation is very, very difficult to deal with. I 1000% believe that if I did not have assistance, whether it was with the light, whether it's with the video, I would not have been able to make this video. So I'm glad that I had a team. I had to figure out what I wanted to do and be strategic about the lighting, since the sun was all the way up in the sky. And then, not to mention, I did not have my ND filter. So I knew I was going to be pushing my AD300 to the max at full pops, and that would kind of slow down the process because I had to wait for it to recharge so that I could take the next shot. One of the other things that really made me decide how I would get these shots was, believe it or not, the model's hair. I went into different directions because I'm not afraid to shoot natural light at all. Okay, some people only shoot flash, but I'm the guy that's going to shoot flash when necessary, and I'll shoot natural light if I have to. So when I looked at how crazy the wind was blowing, I took a shot and I was like, okay, let's see where the wind is blowing the model's hair, since she has a big afro. And you could see the effect that it was having on the model's hair. And you know, it's okay to incorporate that into your image, but I don't want it too dramatic. Like, her hair is right here and then her afro is pushed all the way over here. So I'm taking that into account when I go into editing. I want to try to make it look as natural as possible, right? And so when I had her facing against the wind or into the wind, it kind of pushed her hair all the way back, and I was like, that's going to be kind of tough to make look realistic because of how strong the wind was going at that point. So some shots I decided to use natural light depending on the wind, and then others I decided to use off-camera flash. It turned out that putting her against the wind was pretty much the best position in terms of where her hair would blow.
One, two, three. Perfect. Yeah, so you want to go lay the other way so you'll win. Your hair kind of going that way. All right.
This is the epitome of a model. You know, you got models that say they're models that like to take pictures, and then you have models. Okay, this is a model. This is where you only have to worry about taking the shot. Okay, so kudos and thanks to Chiamaka for that piece, because it was a whole lot of other things that I had to deal with in that particular moment. What I noticed while comparing these, right? Both of these lenses are pretty big, right? The 105 is known to be a monster in terms of its size compared to the 85. Now, the 85 did have better autofocus. It is lighter, it does have a smaller form factor, and then the working distance to the model is the most ideal in terms of capturing portraits. Now, that being said, the 105, a little bit slower focus, didn't catch focus all of the time, and of course the form factor, that's probably one of the biggest things for me, because I like to pack light, and so when I put that lens in my bag, it kind of limits how many other lenses I could be able to bring, right? So that's kind of like the downside, but it is a phenomenal lens, right? So all of that being said, I don't think I've had a lens that was just so horrible on being able to capture focus and have a sharp image that it was just to the point where I just needed to get it out of my arsenal. Personally, I haven't had a lens like that yet. If you have dealt with a lens like that, put it down in the comments below, because I would definitely like to know that.
All right. So we're working with an incredibly difficult situation, and I honestly feel like this is a situation where you need a team, because otherwise you will not get it. All right, so here we go.
Between the 85 1.2 and the Sigma 105, I have to give it to the Sigma 105. I did not like the working distance, but man, something about that Sigma, and I knew I was already drawn to this particular lens because of the color, the contrast that it renders on the image. If you see my images, I like to make the color pop, and it just makes it that much better when I get those files, how easy they are to edit and how they come straight out of camera. So for me, that kind of is a selling point. Not to mention the 85 1.2 for the Nikon is about 25 to 2800, and you know, you can get a pretty nice deal for that Sigma 105. So it was a great time out on a dry lake bed, and we got some phenomenal shots.